to sing with our hearts, make a melody, teaching others with the songs that we sing. We've got to sing with our hearts, make a melody.
Welcome to From Pitch to Praise, a podcast dedicated to inspiring and equipping worship leaders, ministers, and song leaders within the church.
I'm Matt Parker from Infusion Ministries.
And I'm Alan Baggett. Together, we're here to share insights, stories, and practical tools to help you lead your congregation in heartfelt, God-honoring worship.
Whether you're leading worship from the pulpit, in a classroom, or just seeking to deepen your understanding of what it means to praise God in song, this is the podcast for you.
Let's explore the harmony between leadership, faith, and worship. Welcome to From Pitch to Praise.
We are back again for another episode.
Another podcast. They keep bringing us back, or we just continue to come back. Is that what it is?
I think after this year, we're not going to be back.
Well, who
I think
knows?
it's done. They're going to kick us out after this year.
I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Time will tell all. But we're here for another podcast tonight. I guess this is going to be going out at 7:00 in the morning. We said that the last time around, I think.
You did.
That time doesn't matter for podcasts. So this could be at 2 a.m. when they're listening, or 7
And this
a.m.
week in particular, when we're recording all these,
we don't even know what time it is now.
What day is it?
It's a dark room, and it's WLI week, so it could be any time for all we know.
It's true. It's true. There's a time warp.
But I'll tell you, we've got a very special guest today. We've had quite a few this week, but this is one I'm super excited about.
Yeah, I bet you are. You're a fan boy.
Okay, you can't say that when he's sitting beside us, man. That makes it really socially awkward already.
That's not for me. That's for you. That's your problem.
It's okay. I'm off camera.
But let's pan over for our editor and take a look. This is Mr. Gary Moyers, big friend and family, church family friend of ours, and Acappella tenor / lead /
Baritone. I did that
baritone / technician.
Yeah, we just do whatever part we
/ roadie / you've done everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that. Yep.
Right.
Yep. And it was great.
There are stories, but
Should tell our listeners, I wish they could have been there. So as a part of this year's WLI, we had a special kind of mountaintop experience.
Yeah.
The other night in the Calvary Baptist Church building, downtown Oklahoma City, 3-story roof, and some of the Acappella alumni got on stage. And I'll tell you, Gary Moyers. Gary Moyers is also on my heart thinking about these things.
I think of him often. Yeah.
But Gary Moyers, they're singing, Wes McKenzie singing Amazing Grace, and starts out low. And there's this key change, Gary, that I've heard, I don't know, 1,000 times in my life,
right?
And Gary just nails it, and I'm taken back to being a 18-year-old kid listening to that in my car, and it's just a powerful thing. Tell us about. Of
course, you're only 25 now. So
I'm sure.
I don't know who's offended more by that statement.
I was taken back, but I also Gary still got it, bro. Listen to the chops.
You know what I noticed, and I know this is probably. You singing with Acappella, you went into a different gear. There's a different gear there that I've heard in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
When you're leading worship, you have a great voice, but you kicked it into high gear.
Right, that's a different kind of sound.
Yeah,
right.
It was great. I noticed that. Sorry.
Well, I was classically trained.
Gotcha.
Really?
Most folks don't realize that. I mean, if you call college classically trained.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was my major was in music education with a vocal emphasis.
Okay.
So I had to go through all the operatic
class
training
voice
and stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I can pull that out when I need to. That's kind of what I did for that song.
Yeah.
Go into that third verse and just kind of open it up and let it rise and let it flow.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things. Flow, again, heard it so many times, but I guess I'd mentally forgotten that it existed, and then there it was, and something about taking things up a half step that just reinvigorates the mood and the joy. So we're excited that you're here. Tell us,
good to be here.
For those who don't know Mr. Gary Moyers, give us some insights on Acappella. How did it start for you? Where did that begin? Can you go back a couple years ago?
There's a story there. Yeah. A couple of years ago. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
2, 3.
Yeah.
Long ago.
No.
Well, I was a junior in college at Lubbock Christian College.
Okay. Yeah.
And his image came through one summer.
Okay.
The summer of 80.
You're the ones throwing out dates.
80,
yeah, we didn't ask that.
Mid 80s.
Okay.
There you go.
I think it's like 85, but I'm not, somewhere in there. And I went to the concert. It was in summertime at Encounter, which is the summer big event they have there on campus. And I went and to see them sing, because I heard a lot about this new group, His Image.
Right.
And they were fun.
Yeah.
You know? And afterward, out in the lobby, Keith comes and finds me. Like, how does he know me? Of course, now I know he always had his eyes open. He's asking people where the talent is. So he comes and finds me and says, "Hey, Gary, I got this idea."
I've heard those things before.
Right,
yeah.
Right. I want to form this group called the Acappella Vocal Band. I'm going to have 10, maybe 12 singers. They're going to do the flute parts, the trombones, the trumpets, the drums. He said, "I'd really love for you to help me out. Would you be interested?" And, I had already been praying for an opportunity to use my talents in some sort of ministry.
Right.
Didn't know what it was. Here it was.
Okay.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of me. He was standing right in front of you. Yeah, so every line has a song. So,
Absolutely.
So my response to him was, said, "Yeah, Keith, that sounds wonderful. I'd love to do it. I am engaged. Is that okay?" Oh, okay. Gone. Man.
Apparently, no.
Right.
Wow.
No, it's not okay.
Different
and
phase.
I've told the story in front of him many times, and he just laughs. So, and he knows exactly what he did. Because he didn't want young married men. He wanted a bunch of single guys.
Got it.
And so I thought, well, that's that.
Yeah.
I did not marry that girl.
So,
Really?
Time goes on.
Okay.
Okay.
And so, I was engaged 3 times before I actually got married.
But you got the right one, though.
Yeah, 3rd time's a charm, baby. You're right. Yeah. So, 3 years later,
Yeah. Wow.
I've already graduated and taught a year of school down in Crane, Texas. Little thriving
Exactly where that
metropolis.
is.
You know where Crane is?
No.
Okay. 30 miles south of Odessa, where it drops off into nothing but scrub brush and oil derricks.
Okay.
So I was teaching there, had a really pretty good job. I was working with the local church there, just as a member and a lay minister kind of thing,
Right.
And I had already promised them I was coming back for year 2. But it was summertime, so I went back home. I told you it's a long story.
That's great.
That's good.
That's curious.
I went back home and now Acappella was there. Same event.
Mm-hmm.
This time they had AVB with them as backup singers.
Oh.
So I went to the concert, and this was Traveling Shoes days.
Okay.
Roughly somewhere in there. Maybe Conquerors.
Okay.
Yeah, Conquerors. And so so he caught me afterwards again.
Uh-oh.
He says, "Gary, it's good to see you again. Hey man, I need a first tenor and a road manager for AVB. Would you be interested?" Yeah, there it was.
There it is.
I thought, man, this is great. I'm not engaged. I can do this. I can do this. But I said, let me pray about it overnight. I'll let you know in the morning. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I've already promised the school system I'm coming back. I promised the church I'm going to be back there. I really need to hold my promises.
Yeah.
So I went back the next morning and snuck into where he's staying and put a note on his door.
Not having a face-to-face here.
No way. I wasn't going to do that. No. So I turned him down again. Well, I had a good friend, one of the guys I grew up with, Craig Martin, who was the accountant for Acappella at the time. I guess he kept my name in front of Keith because the next February-ish, February, he called me again and said, "I need a road manager and a first tenor, but this time it was for Acappella because I need to get off the road. Are you interested?" Yeah.
Okay.
So
I can do it now.
spring break, I flew out there and just partied for a week with Keith. I mean, we sang a little bit.
Yeah.
We played guitar. We played bluegrass music more than anything else.
Right.
Running around having fun, just getting to know each other.
I'm learning that Keith is a bluegrass fan.
Oh yeah. Oh, he loves all kinds of music.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But his roots are in that era.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
So yeah. So and after that it was gung ho. So early June of '88, I moved to Tennessee and we took off.
There you go.
Wow.
I didn't know all. I watched they're on Praise and Harmony TV. Short shameless plug here. There's what is it?
An occumentary.
Documentary. I've heard that you shared a little bit of that. I think during that.
Yeah.
So I'd heard that, but that's Keith is I'm in sales, right? So one thing you do in sales is you present, but then you follow up.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned today in our class about a sales rep calling for like 18 months straight.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's a good salesman. That's what you're supposed to.
Right.
It sounds like Keith was selling you.
Oh,
Kept
yes.
following up. He did not give up on
Keith
you.
has a vision and he pursues it until
To the nth
Yeah.
degree.
until
It's reality.
becomes
Well, I
reality.
know by you saying yes, though, you've ministered to probably millions at this point.
And then we had no idea what was going to happen.
We won't know until we get there.
And so you've traveled, I mean, really around the world,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
China and Africa and
All that stuff.
Brazil, everywhere.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, I mean, thinking back on that's a lot of time on the road, a lot of shows, a lot of events, a lot of people, a lot of handshakes,
Yeah.
a lot of pitch pipes.
Yeah.
Is there something, just thinking back, like when you think back on everywhere that you've been, like what's the most memorable moment from that?
Memorable.
Yeah, just like, oh, wow.
I mean, how do you rank that?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking these hard
there
questions.
are several that are very memorable. I mean, probably up there would be China.
Okay.
China was an amazing event.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course some of the festivals in Europe,
Okay.
which are way beyond what anybody here in America knows what they are. They're massive.
Got it.
So yeah, some of that, and then of course anything in the Caribbean. Those folks know the songs better than we do.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad trip to the Caribbean, like beach and water
Enjoy
and
and-
sun.
Nope, we wrote a lot of songs there. We really did.
I bet.
Right.
Just
Out on the
relaxing.
beach and
and-
keep
Yeah,
starts writing.
yeah.
Was that the Hush
Nothing
era?
on it I wanna be. That was
Okay.
St. Martin,
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that. I love the beach, man. That's just who I am. And you guys, I want to share this with you too before we kind of move on. And I can't remember who I share this with because it's all running together now. But I know, and when I say this, it's not meant to be offensive. But my wife grew up listening to Acappella, but it was because her grandmother, who absolutely was when Acappella came out, it revolutionized for her because she all of a sudden what she was hearing in church, Acappella, was now. Well, can I say mainstream? But there was now CDs that she could get. Listen, so my wife grew up as a small child on the way to church listening to you guys.
Really?
And that is her memory of her now. Anytime she hears like y'all did Rescue the other day. So paint a picture. Part of that mountaintop, we went to the Oklahoma City bombing memorial site.
Yeah.
Gary's got a story. We won't get into that, but he shared, and then they sang Rescue and just
At Rescue outdoors, really without mics, underneath a tree.
Yeah.
And it was, that speaking of memories with Acappella, now I have a new one.
Yeah.
That's pretty top notch. You guys, I know that but you have blessed a lot of people, and I know a lot of listeners are just as excited to reminisce about
It's
that.
a blessing.
comment. Thank you for that. Was
Thank you. Comment. Yeah, put a
love you,
comment on
Gary.
there. I love you.
And subscribe and hit the
Like
All those
and
things.
all the buttons are good. I did have one other sort of follow up Acappella question because there was an era, Gary. I think you remember this. The Mullets. I mean that, like all of y'all.
We're going there. Okay.
I have to. They were there, and it almost like they disappeared simultaneously too. Was that a group decision
No.
to engage, or just it was just an era?
I think we got tired of it. It was an error for sure. It was the time of the mullets. I mean, that and the pajama pants.
The baggy pants.
I thought it was MC Hammer.
MC
pants.
Hammer,
Yeah.
Exactly what
which
that
is
was.
nothing but pajama pants. That's all they were.
Yeah.
Extra large. So
One of
But now the mullet's coming back now. It's called the flow. So are you going to grow back
it's
out?
called the flow.
It's called the flow.
No, I'm beyond. My flow don't go, man.
it's the time has come and it has gone.
This is
Well, I'll tell
That's
you.
another song title right there.
There's a phrase that Matt and I have used quite a bit in traveling around doing this infusion thing with different churches, and choices were made and consequences were applied. And, I think y'all probably had several of those too. But I'll tell you, so Gary has been a big influence on us and really a helpful tool to have in the tool belt with technical issues. Because what Infusion has done is we're going into churches and we're setting up equipment and leading worship events and trying to encourage people. And we have learned that even, when the church says that they've got a wonderful, well-meaning, they have a wonderful system and we've got great stuff and we never have any issues, almost uniformly when we have assumed that was correct.
There are issues.
There are issues and limitations. And so as things have gone on, we have decided we'll just take our own stuff.
Yeah, that's
Well,
why.
and to say, just to kind of get there, so what Gary does is here at WLI, Worship Leader Institute, if we haven't said that, he teaches a tech class.
Right.
Which is, and he does it for first years, second years, third years. It's super informative. We talk about some new tech that's out there, how to utilize it. So he's an expert in that field.
I wouldn't say expert, but
he knows a lot of stuff.
He knows a lot. He is a resource. So that's just where lots come from. And right now, you're also, so you left the road. You're the worship minister at
Broadway Church of Christ in Lubbock, Texas.
There you go.
And how long have you been there?
I think on staff a little over 11 years.
11 years. Wow.
What is today? Yeah.
11 years today.
Well, not today.
Well, close.
12 comes October. Yeah.
So worship leading there, but you do all the tech side, training guy.
My official title is worship and technology minister.
Technology minister. So you're administering to the mixer board.
Right. I bring salvation to the board every week.
Do you have a lot of ID10T errors?
ID10T. I know what that is. Thank you very much. I don't know if they know what that is.
They won't. You lost everybody.
Think about it. Write it down. ID10T. Just write it down. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, pretty common actually. Yeah.
So you teach a lot of that, and we were talking about we go to these churches. So what what are some big hangups that you feel like why is not big hangups? Why is tech so important in the church today? Like, how does it enhance? How does it distract? What are some things that can happen there? Kind of shed some light on that.
How do you navigate all that?
Yeah. Well, I think tech is extremely important.
Okay.
Because of expectations of the people who are coming.
Okay.
We're in a generations seem to go so fast with the whole, Gen X and Gen whatever the next gen is. I don't even know. I lose track.
We're actually, and we talked about this recently. We're geriatric millennials. Doesn't that sound great?
All right.
Yes.
Right. I don't even know what that is. But and I hate to say that the church is in competition because it used to be the pure word of God would take you where you need to be. And it still will. Right. But so many things get added on to that. When people come in, they have other expectations for what they want to see in church, or what what's available. They see what's happening at other places. They see it on TV. They see the big dollar churches.
Right. There's some consumerism.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's some where it's the center of everything is the production.
Right.
And we're not about that. Obviously.
Right.
The center of what we want to do is to draw attention to God. Let Him be. Let Him be the focus of all we do. But at the same time, we want to do it with excellence.
Sure.
There's that word again.
Yeah.
Do it with excellence.
Keeps cropping up, I'm sure. And you want to be able to, you can't meet the expectations of everyone, but you want to satisfy their needs.
Right.
And a large part of that is done with technology. Of course, you need a great speaker, obviously. You want someone who's God can use to pull their heartstrings. You want great worship. You don't want to scare people off.
Right.
Or let them think they're at a funeral service. That's not what you want to do. Right. But on top of all that, you don't want distractions.
That's right.
And I just, I feel I've seen so many times, as you have now too, I'm sure, that at least in our brotherhood and others as well, I guess. Yeah, I've seen that too. It seems that AV is an afterthought when it comes to building a church or refurbishing the auditorium or whatever the case may be. Yeah. And we don't budget it at all. And then we pay the price. Right. And wonder what happened.
Right.
Yes. Well, and I think we talk about technology, live streaming too. In today's world that we live in, people used to 15, 20 years ago, when they want to go see what a church is about, they would physically go drive and check it out and see if they want to kind of go there.
Yeah.
We don't get that luxury anymore.
Yeah.
Now people are finding if you don't have a live stream, you're automatically off the list.
Yeah, and
if it's not done well,
the quality of the live stream is part of it too.
So it is important, and you hate to put all the emphasis on that, but you have, like you're saying, you have to consider it and put forth a good foot, because in today's world, unfortunately, like it or not, that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your first impression used to be when they come in the door, and you greet them with the handshake.
Hey, welcome.
That's third or fourth now.
Right.
There's many things that happened before that.
Right.
With today's.
That's it.
Yeah.
So if you were talking to a leader of a church, let's say we've got a small church that's average is probably not the right word, but smaller church. Yours has got this wonderful leadership, and they have taken some leaps and bounds into the live streaming and technology and digital footprint. But if we're talking to a church that has not quite made that leap yet, that made it through the last pandemic and finally got a Zoom camera set up, and they're struggling with what that looks like on an average Sunday morning. And I'll tell you, just from experience, we've had some leaders that said, you know what, I just want a system that I come in and flip a switch on and it's going. Can you give us some comments? What would be some encouragements that Infusion could share as we go into those types of churches? What's the next step for them?
Well,
think?
first off, with today's automation, there are systems you can just flip a switch.
It's just easy.
Perfect. Right.
AI is wonderful. It's coming.
Unfortunately, that's not cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, when you have a church who has issues that they don't really even realize, but that they know something's wrong and they want to fix it, I would strongly encourage them to get out of their fellowship, maybe.
Okay.
Hmm.
They need to experience other ways of doing things, whether they agree with what they're doing or not. They need to go see what's happening out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Go to that church that's drawing all the college kids in town. See what they're doing.
Right.
And go to the mega churches. See what. Obviously, most of that you're not going to be able to do, but you can pick up some hints, some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Just experience something different. Open up your mind. Think outside the box.
And call Gary Moyer at 5. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, you've in all seriousness, you've done some consultation
a
for
little bit.
here and there.
I don't do a ton.
Okay.
Because it's just so time intensive.
Yeah.
I get a lot of phone calls, and I tell people basic stuff.
Right.
Then I'll refer them on to someone else.
Let's say that a church is ready to make some steps forward and have some skill set, and they're willing to do some training and learn, and they're saying, you know what, we want to make some steps forward with our tech in our room. We're going to get some new speakers. We're going to, what tools, like could you give us a list of like 3 things you need to have? Wireless microphone and a PowerPoint projector. What were some things that, like, you're just standards, man? That should be standards.
You can't look at that objectively because every church is different.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
With the construction, ways different churches are constructed, you just know there's no one size fits all.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I think that's valuable.
Right.
I think that's valuable, though.
Well, and I think there's some churches, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but some churches, especially in our brotherhood, they'll call outside help to come set up their sound system. Dangerous, right? Okay, so it is, because what I see is they're setting up for an instrumental or what they're used to. Even at a festival I went to, we've got a praise team up there, but the guys running it are used to running, Rascal Flats on
right.
And it's not the same. It's just not the same.
No, as a matter of fact, Mike Rogers, one of the instructors here at WLI. You know his story, what happened at his church?
No.
Maybe you hadn't heard it. Because he called me down just to take a look at it. He was in Abilene at a church there. And a small church, seated around 400 or so. And they didn't like the sound, so they contracted a company to come in and refit their entire auditorium sanctuary to get it better sounding.
Right.
So they came in and installed clouds in the ceiling, sound deadening around the back, padding everywhere, and it just absolutely killed. You couldn't hear somebody talk across the room.
Oh, wow.
Nothing.
Wow.
But bring a band in, and it was perfect.
Sure.
So, this is a company who really knew what they were doing when it comes to instrumental services.
Right.
Had no clue how to handle Acappella.
Wow.
So I counseled them to pull those clouds out and call a company to remove everything. And
try again. That, guys.
Yeah, put in some reflective services that controlled it, and it really fixed the room.
Got it.
So you're gonna have to, if you're going to be looking at a company to handle AV, you need to really do your research and check and see if they've had any experience with Acappella churches.
Got it. Gotcha. That's important.
That's we did a big refit at Beltline recently, and I say recently, it's probably been. I've been there 13 years. It was probably 10 years ago, and they I would say they did a pretty good job. Did you weren't at the recording at Beltline?
No.
But I will say it's a little overkill. We've talked about it. We have 3 line array stacks that are hanging. I mean, we're using
5%,
a 16th
of
of what we
the
could.
capacity.
But I mean, and they put sound attenuation and all that stuff. So
You're
you don't
prepared
get
for
a
the
slap.
future, right?
You're right.
Right,
It's future
yeah,
proof.
right.
If they
But,
were to tear out the back wall and expand it another
Right,
300,
right.
400 rows, it would be.
So I would
ready
say, to your point, really research, because I mean we spent a lot of money and they made the decision before, but you could wind up spending a lot more money than you're only going to.
Yeah.
That investment, that return on investment is not as great, right?
right.
So
Right.
So, what do you think the biggest mistake is for churches when they think we got to fix our sound, or you just sound in general, sound and video? What's one of the biggest mistakes amateurs make? I guess
Under budgeting.
Under budgeting.
Under budgeting. Yeah. Again, I think our brotherhood in general, not all, but in general, historically, has had this attitude of let's get as much as we can for next to nothing.
Yes.
You know? And that's hurt us in so many ways.
Right.
If you want quality, you got to pay for it.
You're right.
You get what
Pick
you
your
pay
battle.
for.
Yeah, what you pay for. Right.
That's true. That's a good. Now, do you at your church? Do you have an AV team that you are over?
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about how you manage that? How you pick the guys? How you vet them? How you make sure they're trained? Like what's some of your processes?
Well, we have very few who are. Vetting is mostly. Can you use a computer?
Can you click?
And it's more a matter of, are you willing to put yourself out there?
Yeah.
You tell them up front that if you're dealing with the slides in the room, you tell them about the holy hiccup. If you miss a slide, the whole church is going to stop and look at you. People who are able to handle that kind of pressure.
Right.
Right.
No one knows you're back there until you mess up. Then also, where's that?
Yeah. The job of the tech crew is to be invisible.
Right.
That's
done well.
so
you don't want anybody looking back or even really complimenting on your job. You want it to be
seamless.
Seamless. Is a good word. Yeah.
So how big is your church? How many members do you have?
Oh, a lot less than we used to. We have about 350 on a regular Sunday now. Yeah.
And then how many are the tech team? Are those paid individuals? Or are they full volunteer?
So I found a young lady who has had some tech experience. Her name is Ashley, and I found out real quick that she was very capable. So I pay her like $50 a week, just to kind of oversee everything. So I don't have to worry as a worship leader.
One less
I don't have to worry about fix that. Hey, what's that?
Right.
She's got it covered.
Got it.
And we have three basic areas. We have the presentation world, which handles all the slides and everything else. Then we have mixed world, which handles audio. Then up in the balcony, we have streaming world, which is multifunctional.
Are these these are titles placed on a wall or a placard? This is streaming world.
Now entering
streaming world. Wow,
it's the Mario tubes that you.
It feels like Disney World to me.
Yeah.
So on a given Sunday morning, you got at least 3 people.
Usually 4 because she's
4.
If she's not, we like her to be free. To
move.
So we'll have at least 4 on the tech team every Sunday.
And so how long are these year-round positions?
Yeah,
or
it just goes until they get tired of it and run away.
Really? Okay. Because there's a lot of churches out there, mine included, where we have volunteers that do that, and they'll do about a month at a time, and then they hand off to somebody.
Yeah.
And they may rotate through every couple of months. And that works for our church, but I would assume there's churches out there where that may be a bit of a challenge because you've got so many people that
I mean, the more volunteers you need, obviously, the harder it is to fill spots. And we have options. It's not the same people every week. We have enough people in our AV team that we can have usually at least probably twice a month for each person. Sometimes once every 3 weeks.
They're engaged frequently.
Yes.
It sounds like.
Yes.
Got it.
So there's a philosophical debate happening right now, and I want to see what his thought is.
Okay, let's go.
We need a definitive answer.
I'm of Apollos.
Okay, you ready? Projector or LED wall?
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. So cost.
No. I want to just go here first.
I'll go with the LED wall.
LED wall.
I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I say that is I'm trying to talk to some of my leadership, not necessarily now, but I feel like projectors are going to eventually phase out. And you're not going to be able to get things.
The new laser projectors that are available now are really, really good. And, they have I can't remember the actual. I was looking at this stat a while ago, preparing for the class I'm teaching here in about 30 minutes. But with the laser projectors, your bulb, say you use the projector 5, maybe 6 hours a week. It's like 77 years of use.
That's
you know,
plenty.
There you go.
Right, yeah, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
The projector itself will fall apart from the bulb.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, as far as stability, they're great. The new laser ones will give you a great image,
Right.
and fill up a bright room a lot easier.
Right.
As you look at your lumen count. I don't want to get too deep in the woods on that.
That,
Right,
There's,
that's
there's
another-
math. There's
Yeah,
math
it's all
there.
math.
You're talking his language, though.
I love
it.
So yeah, I think in certain instances, yeah, and budget wise,
Yeah.
if you don't have that great a budget, then yes, a projector's fine.
Now,
As long as you go
you have LED.
laser.
You have an LED wall.
We do, but
right?
that's a different story. We have two.
Oh.
Yeah. Do we have time to tell the story?
We
or
should. I feel like
okay.
we need to.
I thought we should at this point. Yeah, we're not going to tell you.
Teaser.
Just guess.
So we had quite a while back. We had gotten quotes on putting up LED walls
Mhm.
in our auditorium,
Mhm.
and they came back $250,000.
Okay.
Right.
That's chump change.
Not even
Yeah.
for our situation. Not even something to consider.
Right. Okay.
So I waited 5 years and got another quote, and it went down
Oh, good.
193,000.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
It's coming down quickly. All right.
So about 3 years ago, maybe 4, I'm not sure at this point, I went out to Lubbock Christian University for an event, and one of the guy who works their tech there was a friend of mine, and he had put together a modular set, and you can really format it however you wanted to. He had it in 7 different strips of LED.
Right.
You know,
Like for a
so
stage or something.
Each one's about 4 feet wide and 20 feet tall, that kind of thing. So, and the image stretched across all those. It
That's
looked
cool.
really neat,
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was talking to him afterwards. I said, "Do you ever rent these things out? Just some people can experience." I said, "Yeah, we really hope to do a lot more." I said, "Well, can you bring it to Broadway?"
Mm.
So he said, "Yeah, we can do that." So I think it was either Mother's Day or Easter or the first Sunday. I think it was Mother's Day. The next, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so
One of those.
we didn't tell anybody we were going to do it.
Mhm.
We had this big, massive 20-foot screen, and 120 feet back at the back of the auditorium, we had 2 monster projectors,
Mhm.
not laser,
Converging.
And and they
wow.
converged into one image
Right.
just to get it bright enough to be able to be seen. And so we set up that wall over on the left, so people came in and saw, what's this big black thing on the wall here?
Uh-huh.
I wanted to show both at the same time.
Oh.
The
I see.
projected
There's
image versus-
psychology involved here.
Absolutely. It was,
Of
yeah.
course, the mistake we made is we set the brightness perfect for our room, but when we after sound check they turn it off and then turn it back on, it went back to 100%. So we come in, we start, and both things come on, and this whole section of the auditorium goes, "Ah!"
Get the sunglasses out. Sorry.
But everyone obviously loved it because there's no comparison between the
Yeah.
LED wall and the projected image. So I went back to the guy and said, "So, okay, you make these things.
Mm.
How much would you charge me for 2 16 feet by 9 feet walls, one for each side of our front auditorium?"
Mhm.
Well, he just kind of thought for a minute and chewed on his lip and really didn't say anything. He said, probably about 30.
Mm.
Wow.
I said,
That's
30
different.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He said 30,000. I said, for one of them? No, that's for both.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sign me up right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Signed
Won't
up
you sign
exactly.
me up
Mhm.
for the
Right.
LED wall?
Wow, we've done more of those transitions this podcast than we have before. That's great. I think that's the 4th one. You guys are solid.
So we ended up paying him more just because we felt bad, But
Right.
he put it up for us, and they're amazing.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is a guy's name that you're more than willing to share, I'm sure, for the entire.
I'll tell you off.
Okay, great.
Because he doesn't want to do a lot of it. He just wants
I
to-
would bet.
right,
I would
right.
bet. No.
That was a special. That was a special. disc, yeah.
one-off opportunity for Broadway. No, that's
So
amazing.
as we kind of wrap up here, because I know you got to get to your class and stuff. So someone's out there today. There's a worship leader out there in the world today that's considering coming. They've heard it for the last 20 weeks. It seems probably no, it's however long it's
That's
been
probably 20 weeks. Yeah.
about WLI.
Oh,
Worship
yeah.
University.
hmm
Why should that person get here next year?
Well, I'm sure they've heard, like you said, probably a lot of reasons. I think the morale building and the camaraderie is
It's huge.
huge, right? I mean, you're going to learn way more than you're going to be able to use. It's like open mouth and insert fire hose.
That's
A
so true.
ton of stuff we teach you here, and you're going to come away with some great stuff. It'll take 2 or 3 years to ingest it all and be able to fully utilize it. I mean, this is like a week-long college course. It really is. But on top of all that knowledge you get, there's just the feeling of mutual support,
The network.
brotherhood
Man.
that you just don't get
right.
as a worship leader
Yeah.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know. Even with the conventions you go to, you just don't get that. You know,
Right.
Here, we're all in the same boat. We're all experiencing the same issues. We're all just as poor as the next person to us when it comes to talent.
That's
you
right.
know?
And we're all failing together. You know,
Right. Yeah.
especially in conducting.
So we lift each other up. and we
encourage.
move forward together.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing.
I would say the network is huge.
Yes.
And I've long said, and I've said this publicly more times than not, the directing's great. The classes are awesome, but having a network of song leaders, worship leaders that I can call up on the phone and say, hey, I'm struggling with this right now.
Yeah.
You know, the preachers have that
They
from
do.
school.
Yeah.
Youth ministers have that, but it seems like not a lot of worship leaders.
Right.
I mean, I guess
We've been swinging solo for a long time on this stuff.
and building that network is so important.
And having someone to
I've done
call and
that.
say, hey, we got a hum in our sound system.
Hey,
What can we-"
Gary, there's a hum.
Right.
And from a distance,
Right.
he goes, you need a ground loop.
Right.
Just don't
lift your ground.
ground lift and just don't pour anything on the mixer board. That would be bad.
That's right. That's number 2. Right.
Gary, thank you so much for
Yes.
being here.
Yeah, my
It's been
pleasure.
an honor. It's been a joy.
It's been fun.
And I'm sure our listeners and those that are watching are just going to be excited.
May
to see
God
it.
bless your efforts.
Thank
you.
on all your stuff.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
excited
you.
about that.
Thank you.
We love you guys. Y'all have a good next couple weeks. We'll be back if you decide to come back.
We hope
we'd
you
love
will.
to have you. So
Yeah.
God bless you. Love you.
Love
Go
you
love
guys.
on somebody this week.
Thanks.
See you next
See you
time.
soon. Bye.
We've got to sing with our hearts, make a melody, teaching others with the songs that we sing. We've got to sing with our hearts, make a melody.
Thanks for joining us on From Pitch to Praise.
We hope this episode has encouraged you and given you new ideas to inspire your worship leadership.
If you've enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review to help others discover the podcast.
And don't forget to connect with us through infusionministries.org or follow us on social media for more resources and updates.
Until next time, keep leading with faith, love, and a heart full of praise.
We'll see you back here on From Pitch to Praise.
Praise the Lord and teach His